You think and feel with the same energy that your world is created from. Your thoughts are electro-magnetic blueprints which eventually externalize as events and things that you've either longed for or greatly feared, or as those things which, good or bad, you have done to others. This is the Real Healing Institute. My name is Michelle Sinclair, a teacher of the Christ Letters. You believe your world to be solid, and yet it is actually not. Science will show you this. It can prove to you that everything is vibration and light. The other day I saw the moment that a baby is born, and this was through this little screen that is showing the egg when it gets fertilized. That exact second that it gets fertilized, there is a blast of light that comes from it. You, my friends, are light. This is what you are. Now, all of the things that surround you are also composed of light and vibration. So this is why things can change very quickly around you. And this is why our internal world dictates our outer world. So you could be in the same environment, same situation as somebody else, and yet you actually perceive it to be different than what they do. Because what you see and what you are witness to is what your senses report back to you as to what they believe is actually there. So if you are a very high vibe person, you could pass by a certain place or be in a certain place and think, oh wow, this place is so beautiful and amazing. Whereas if you are a low vibe person, you could pass by that exact same place and you'd think, oh, what a terrible place this is. And you might know that. Maybe you've gone out with friends before and y'all have had a different experience about the same thing. Maybe you've left a conversation and thought that, well, this was how it went, but everybody actually had a different opinion about how it went. And the thing about it is, everyone is correct. Everybody's right because it's true to them. It's based on their reality, their perception, and what they believe to be in the world. I know that there was a conversation one time that I was, standing next to, but not actually really a part of the conversation. And I thought that the person that was speaking was being very pleasant and kind and just, kind of stating a fact and saying, hey, this is, the way that things are. And I was like, okay, whatever. I took it as they're nice. And then when we left, the person that I was with was like, oh, what a rude person. Oh yeah, no, they were being rude. They were this, they were that. And I was like, okay, well, I didn't perceive it to be that way at all. So this comes from the person's inner world. Where are you in your inner world? What do you believe is going on around you? Do you believe that people are mean and rude to you? Because if you believe that, you will witness it and you will experience it many times. You will manifest the things that you fear in your life because it is the same. So let's say that you're like, oh man, I don't want that to happen. And you keep playing the chord of, I don't want this to happen. You're playing the chord of the this. The universe ignores the part of, I don't want. If I told you, I don't want you to think about a pink elephant, well, you just ignored the part where I said, don't think about it, right? This is what the universe does. It doesn't pick up on that. It picks up on the vibration of the elephant. And so if you're like, okay, no matter what, I'm not going to think about a pink elephant. I'm not going to think about it. I don't want to think about a pink elephant. Well, what happens is you are creating that pink elephant in your life, even though you don't want that experience. You don't want to think about that. That's exactly what you're doing. And so if we have these things, like I've had clients come to me before and they've got some physical something going on. And they, were told, maybe by a family member or something, oh, you just wait till you get older. This is genetic. You're going to be, it'll be you next. Why would a parent do that? That's so cruel. But it's because they believe it. They believe it to be the truth. And so what happens in those situations is that younger person will decide for themselves. Okay, I guess that's going to be me. Now they put their belief in it, their faith in it, and it will be them. But if they put the belief and the faith that that's not going to be me, that is not going to be me, then it's not going to be them. But if they fear, well, I hope that that's not me, I don't want that to be me, feel that feeling of fear that they're putting out, they will manifest that, more of that feeling of fear, because they've planted the seeds of it. So we can't just say, oh, I don't want this, and expect it not to come, because what we're doing in that moment when we're saying, I don't want this, is we're focusing on that thing that we don't want. We're giving it our vibration, our focus, our energy, our light. And we are therefore creating it. We are making the blueprints of the very thing that we do not want. So if you were to look at some area of your life and you're like, okay, I'm not satisfied in this particular area. What beliefs do you have in your life that are making that happen? Because I bet that you have another area of your life that you're very satisfied with. Maybe you don't, I don't know. And if that's the case, then you need to you do a total overhaul of all the beliefs that you have. But if you look at one particular area, let's use relationships as an example. Let's say that you have a fear of abandonment. So what happens? You get into a relationship and you have this fear of, oh, I don't want them to leave me. Oh, I hope that they don't leave me. What is that vibration doing? Well, it's being emitted from you, and you're hanging out with the person that you don't want to leave you. And so what's happening when you are in somebody's energetic field? You could actually look this up. It was pretty cool. They did an experiment, I don't know, it might have even been in the 70s, with a camera, and they were showing, a mother and showing her aura, her energy around her, and then what happens when the child comes, and the child then absorbs and is part of the mother's energy field. And so, you can't help yourself, but if you were with somebody, to be picking up the vibrations that they're putting out, which is why it's so important to pick the proper partner. And so if that person is putting out the don't leave me, all you're getting is the leave me. And you are picking up that vibration of that fear, and you will then, your partner, and you will have created the very outcome that you did not want. So this is why it's so important after relationships to heal these things, especially, and you'll become aware of them, when you're with somebody, you'll be like, oh, well, that triggered me. Okay, I guess I need to heal that too. Oh, well, that triggered me. I guess I need to heal that too. And you can work on these things. But as you do this, know what you're actually doing. So you are playing a chord. Just imagine yourself like you're head to toe filled with guitar strings, and each one of those is a certain emotion and a certain belief. And so as long as your subconscious mind is playing these certain tones and these certain vibrations, they are being emitted, sent out from you, and being received by others. And the others that come into contact with you are going to play out the vibrations that you're putting out. They're going to do it for you. But here's the best part, because when you stop playing those chords that you don't want, everyone's still going to keep doing the same thing, and they're going to be doing it for you, and you're going to see the heaven that it is that you want. So let's say that you're playing that chord of, don't leave me. Leave me is really the chord that's being picked up. And so then this person will pick up on those subtle energies, and then certain things will happen. Maybe you will self-sabotage, and you will do things to push that person away. Maybe that person will pick up on those things. They'll feel unsafe, and they'll think, I need to leave. Whatever chord, whatever note, whatever vibration and frequency that you're playing, it will be received by the people in your environment, and they will act out the play accordingly. This is where it's talking about, what fun blueprints do you want to create for your life? Okay, lay out the blueprints, and if you believe with your sincerest heart that you will achieve them, you will. Because when you believe with your sincerest heart, that means that you're playing the proper chords. You're playing the right vibrations of belief, of I believe in this particular thing. Sorry. But if you got these blueprints laid out, and you were thinking, there's no way that I'm actually going to be able to get these things, then you're right, you won't. Because you're playing those chords and those vibrations, and this is what will manifest. Maybe you'll get part, maybe you'll get not, but you won't get what it is that you want, because you will not have been playing the proper vibrations and chords. So this is why it's so important to cleanse your mind of anything that it is that you do not want to plant in your future. Anything that it is that you do not want to see, anything that it is that you don't want again. It's so important to get rid of it. Get rid of it. Eliminate it. If you were to think about, maybe you've got some kind of habit, maybe you're like, oh, if I could just overcome this one thing, if I could stop doing this, if I could stop watching that, if I could stop doing whatever it is, you're right. That thing does need to be healed, but that thing is telling you something about yourself. And if you were to go in there, there will be beliefs that are behind it. Let's say you have an eating disorder or something like this. Okay, well, it's telling you what feeling comes up every time that you feel like you need to eat some food. Is it a genuine hunger, or is it a feeling of I'm not good enough? Is it a feeling of stress? Is it a feeling of I need some comfort? What is the feeling that's there? As long as you are going to look for and externalize that thing in some food, in the outer world, maybe you're an alcoholic, maybe you are addicted to cigarettes, maybe you, whatever it is, wherever you're seeking that comfort, if it is not from divine, then you're putting your faith into something else. You're saying, I believe that this food is going to make me feel better. And so then you eat it, and it temporarily does while it's in your mouth until you swallow it, and then it's followed by all these horrible feelings. Same as, oh, I believe that this alcohol is going to make me feel better. Well, it might temporarily make you feel better, but what happens when you wake up the next day? You don't feel better anymore. The only place that you don't get a hangover, that you get a good feeling afterwards, is when you seek these things from the divine. I want my comfort from the divine. But what you'll find is that you'll actually get that comfort from yourself, because the divine is within you. Once you heal all of these things, then that place of comfort, it just naturally comes from you. Because you are composed of the divine. It's within you, it's within everything that you can see around you. Scientists call it space, right? Because they don't know what it is. They're like, oh, there's the space. And I'm not just talking outer space. I'm talking right in front of you, all this air that you're breathing up. Look at all this space that's right there in front of you. And if you were to take a microscope and you were to zoom in on anything, you would find that even in a cell, there's a whole bunch of just empty space. There's just all this space. Well, what is this? This is where the love lives. This is where the divine resides. So it's within everything, and so it's within yourself. And when you clear out all of that mental clutter that you have, the anger, the resentment, the rage, the vindictiveness, the annoyance, the frustration, and you might think, oh, well, these are just normal human emotions. Well, they are. You're right, but they're all ego-based, because when you get rid of your ego, you don't have any of those anymore. You just become the divine love vessel that you are, and then you see everything as love, because it actually is. And so this is the goal, is to get rid of all of the mental clutter, mentally cleanse your mind. This is why I made that mental cleanse series, because when I'm up at my cabin and I'm having this experience, and I have done this for myself, so I'm speaking from a place of I know what I'm talking about. When I forgave somebody and I was totally set free, it set that person free too. It led into other things, which then, leads to remorse, which then leads to this, which then leads to that, which leads to the moment when your brain illuminates and the divine is like, okay, you earned this. This is for you. But you can't get it until you're completely emptied of self, until the ego is completely empty. And this is a process. I mean, it took me years and years and years. But when you're on the path and you're seeking, you will find. And some people are not on this path. Maybe they're on a different path. They came here for a different purpose. I know, I've seen so many past lives, and every single one of those lives was not like the spiritual based thing. I mean, many of them were, but many of them were just here to learn lessons. And so, even to not judge others who are not on this path, because it ain't their path, man, and it's not supposed to be, for whatever reason. I mean, this is the highest goal that we can all achieve while we're here, and to know and to understand how the universal laws work is going to change your life, because then you're going to be in control of your life, because you're going to understand that you're in control of your life. But until you realize that, you'll be planting seeds, you'll be complaining about things, making judgments, and having more things to complain about and more judgments, because you're harvesting that consciousness level over and over and over again, because you've planted it as seeds. What you vibrate at, what you put out, you will receive back, whether it's today, tomorrow, or in 10 years from now, or in a lifetime. I mean, it just depends. How much time do you have to play these things out? And, we have karmic things from previous lives that need to be played out. So, for example, for myself, I had a life where I didn't forgive, and instead I got revenge. And so then we both pass and go up to, realize like, oh, hey, man, we were supposed to forgive each other, not get revenge. That's what this life was about. And it was like, oh, like we failed. Dang it. No, we have to do it again. So then what has to happen Well, in order to forgive, somebody's got to do something to you that would be hard to forgive, right? So this had to happen. So this happened to me. Somebody did something to me that was really hard to forgive. And what is the hard work? When you can forgive without an apology. When you can forgive without any excuses that this person has made for themselves, without any of the things, without them maybe even changing their behavior. When you can forgive, wow, you've really done the work, and you've set yourself free, and you've set that person free. And so sometimes we feel like we're here and, well, I didn't deserve this, I didn't do anything to earn this, and I was, whatever. But when you can understand that these things can even come from past lives, karmically, they would typically play out in the first part of your life, not in the later part of your life, if this is something that's karmic that is coming around, within the first 30 years or so, and even very young childhood. But most of what you are reaping in your life is from this life. And so if you found yourself really, complaining a lot, well, you are going to get a lot of things to complain about. If you find yourself making a lot of judgments, well, you are going to be presented with a lot of things that you can make judgments on. Because you're playing that vibration, and the universe is like, oh, they want this, so they criticize, here, I'm going to give them the vibration of criticism. They're vibrating at this level, okay, we're going to send things that resonate with that exact same frequency. And so if you want to live a beautiful life, you must see the beautiful things, and only the beautiful things, because then you are playing that chord of a beautiful life, and then the beautiful life will just vibrate into you, and you will get what you want. But you cannot get what it is that you aren't. Just like you can't plant carrot seeds and expect to get celery, you can't plant lettuce and expect to get cabbage. You get what you are, you get what you've planted. And so when you're sowing seeds of a beautiful life, you're going to get a beautiful life. But if you believe that this particular area of your life is not beautiful, then it's not going to be beautiful, because that's the chord that you're playing, that's the vibration that you're putting out. And so you need to look at that and examine it, find out where it's coming from. Go in there, pull it out, pull out the weeds, pull out the rocks, so that you can be laying your seeds in fertile and beautiful soil. But the weeds can drown out the seeds that you've planted. The rocks can make it so that those seeds aren't even going to come for harvest. They're going to die before they get to maturation. And this is a talk about your mind. Your mind is that soil. So is it filled with beautiful things, or is it filled with rocks and weeds? Rocks and weeds could be all kinds of things that are lower vibration, that are not love. So if you were to ask yourself, is this thought that I'm having love? And if it's not, well, then it's time to get rid of it. Is this belief that I have love? Well, if it's not, then it's time to get rid of it. Because it's doing you a disservice. It's not helping you in any way. And so it's not what we want. And if you can look at your body and you can understand that all that tiny little bit of space in every single cell is room for the divine. And if you could ask yourself, what percent of my body is filled with the divine? Okay. So then what needs to be let go of so that it can be 100%? And if it is already 100%, then know that. And know that everything that you see out of your beautiful eyes is a reflection of that. See the light in everything. See the love in everything and in everyone and in every circumstance. And it doesn't matter how the circumstance presents to you, just like I had a circumstance present to me in my life that was the worst thing in the whole world, that I wanted to die. Wanted to end it. But I see now that was the most beautiful gift that I was ever given, was that, because it was an ending to something that needed to end. I didn't want it to. I didn't think it should have. I thought it was fine. I thought it was great. I thought it was good. But now I was then given something so much better. It's like, here, let me trade out these this tourmaline for some diamonds. Sure, I'll do that. But it's like, I really like the tourmaline. Yeah, but you're really going to like these diamonds. Okay. And just trust the process and know that the diamonds are coming no matter what it is that you're going through. And these harsh endings teach something. There's learning that comes from it. There's healing that comes from it, only if you allow it. I mean, it could be the worst thing in your life and you could just keep it that way. It is all your mental state. But when you can believe and know, because it's the truth, that everything is happening for you, to show you something, to help you to learn, but it's all happening for you. As soon as you believe that, no, I know it's happening for me, feel the vibration in that. Just say it out loud. I know everything's happening for me. I know everything's happening for me. I know it's happening for me. I know it's happening for me. I know it is. And when you can walk around with that as a mantra all day long, what wonderful, amazing things are going to happen for you. It's limitless, because you don't have to even have a specific idea. I know when people start thinking about manifesting this or that, they're like, well, I want this specific thing with the whatever. And it's like, dude, you're limiting yourself. The divine has no limits, so why don't you just cleanse out your mind? Pretty soon you're actually not going to want anything, and then you're going to get everything. Things you could not have even dreamed of is just going to be given to you. This is how it works. But it is eliminating the ego, getting rid of that and replacing that with divine mind, because as long as the human ego is in the way, the divine cannot flow through you freely. It will be filtered by the ego. So it's really about just healing all those things that need to be let go of. But this is what I have for you guys here today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe to this channel. You could even share this video with a friend if you think that it might be helpful for them. Thank you guys for tuning in. Also, we have these Christ light circles. I will post a link down for that below if you want to tune in with me. This is live on Zoom. Me and my friend Alora, we do these circles. They're spiritual circles, very helpful. We will do energy work. You can also join my other page, the Cosmic Christ Force. There's samples of what these circles are like on there. So tune into that and check that out if that's something that you're interested in. Take care, everybody. Love you all, and I will talk to you later, my darlings.